Okay, so what if even the most, powerful beings, the brightest things out there, actually need a break? Like, imagine the sun, but not as that constant shining thing. Imagine it more like someone who's just totally overworked, really feeling the burn, maybe even like the story says, extra spicy. We're not doing astrophysics today, just a different kind of deep dive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that idea is exactly where we start. We're looking at a really delightful story, actually, called Sunburnt Sun and the Cloud Parade. Now, I know what you might be thinking, a kid's book on this show, but trust me, we're going to pull out some genuinely useful, kind of surprising ideas from this. It's about finding big truths in, well, unexpected packages.
Right. That's the mission today. We want to uncover these universal ideas about looking after yourself, self-care, and also the real strength you find in community. Maybe even touch on some fun ways to think about, our environment. It's all sort of hidden in this charming little story. You might actually be surprised how much relates back to, well, your own life, your own efforts to learn and be productive.
Okay, let's get into it then. The story starts, and the sun is, well, he's in a bit of a state. Says he's feeling extra spicy one morning. And why? Because, and this sounds familiar, right? He stayed up late the night before showing off his brightest rays. Classic case of pushing it too far, thinking you just got to keep going full blast.
Oh, absolutely. And the way the story describes it, it's such a perfect picture of, well, human burnout, isn't it? He was glowing redder than a cherry tomato and actually groaning, "Yow, Howley, I think I'm sunburned." And get this, wobbling in the sky like a dizzy disco ball. It's not just physical,
Mhm.
that wobbling. It really captures that mental fog, that sort of emotional dizziness you get when you've gone way past your limit.
Exactly, that dizzy disco ball. I think we've all felt a bit like that. And it
Mhm.
wasn't just him feeling it, right? His state had this huge knock-on effect. Down on Earth, the story says, everyone was melting. It gives these great little examples. Ice cream turned to soup.
Right, total soup.
Playground slides sizzled. Even the sunflowers were sweating. It really hammers home how one person's burnout or one sun's can just ripple outwards.
Yeah.
Affects your team, your family, everything around you.
Yeah, it makes you think about, like in workplaces, when someone's there, but not really there. Presenteeism, they call it.
Yeah.
The sun is present, technically, but he's making things worse for everyone else. It's fascinating how even the most like brilliant or seemingly tireless figures hit that wall, that burnout point where, their energy becomes almost counterproductive. And it has real, tangible melting effects, as the story puts it. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often do we push ourselves or see others push to that red tomato stage and unintentionally make things hotter and harder for everyone?
So true. Okay, so the sun's basically overheating, Earth is melting. Enter the heroes, the clouds. They see their friends struggling, and what do? They hold an emergency sky meeting. Love that. And we meet these great characters. Nimbus, the wise one, Puffy, the fluffy joker, and Siri, the speedy one. It's just instant compassion in action.
It really is. And this is where that idea of collective action, of kindness, really comes alive. But it's smart kindness, They put their puffs together, as the story says, and plan this cloud parade to cool the sun down. It's not just being nice, it's a strategic sport, like you said. Nimbus brings the wisdom, Puffy brings the lightness, Siri brings the speed and action. It really shows the power of a diverse group coming together, different kinds of help for different needs.
And the parade itself sounds amazing, like Puffy juggled snowballs. Can you picture that? Meanwhile, Nimbus created the world's biggest shady umbrella. Just practical, direct help.
Total protection.
And Siri zipped around, blowing gentle breezes shaped like smiley faces. That's such a lovely touch. Even the raindrops get involved. They danced in rows, misting the earth and the sun with cool, happy sprinkles. Every little bit helps, seems to be the message.
Exactly. And if you think about it metaphorically, puffy snowballs. Maybe that's like moments of fun or stress relief that just take the edge off. Nimbus's big umbrella. That's
Yeah.
like creating boundaries, right?
Yeah.
Or just a safe space for someone to recover, blocking out the extra pressure.
Oh, good
And
point.
Siri's smiley breezes. That's the emotional cheerleading, maybe.
Yeah.
That positive vibe that you got the gentle reminder to just breathe. And the raindrops, all those little sprinkles. This shows how lots of small, coordinated acts of kindness can add up to something really refreshing. This whole parade thing, it really drives home that asking for help or just receiving it isn't weakness. It's essential for getting back on track. And sometimes the best solutions are creative and, collaborative.
And guess what? It worked. The sun's watching this whole thing teary-eyed, though maybe mostly from the heat, it says. And slowly he began to feel better. You see the change happen. The red faded, the warmth softened, and he even let out a golden giggle. That's just brilliant. The sound of relief right there.
It really is. And then that lovely reciprocity. To say thanks, the sun painted a giant rainbow across the sky, and he's beaming, saying best parade ever. Such a beautiful illustration of how receiving help graciously can actually strengthen relationships. It creates this positive cycle, doesn't it? You get support, you recover, then you give back something beautiful yourself.
Okay, and here's the real kicker, the big takeaway for the sun and the clouds promise. From that day forward, the sun promised to shine smart, not hard. That's key. And the clouds, they promised to throw a sky parade anytime he needed to cool down. That's like ongoing support infrastructure.
Exactly. Shine smart, not hard. That sums up so much, doesn't it? It's about sustainable performance, not just brute force. It's about knowing your energy, resting strategically, recognizing limits before you wobble like a disco ball. And the second big thing is just the raw power of kindness and teamwork. Not just as a nice idea, but as, like you said, an infrastructure for resilience. The big message seems pretty clear. Even the brightest stars need a break sometimes. It's okay to slow down. It's actually smart. And asking for help, letting others step in when you're feeling, burnt out, that's not failing. It's actually showing strength and self-awareness.
So what does this all mean for you listening? This deep dive into a kid's story, it actually holds these really relevant lessons for modern life. The pressure to always be on, always shining bright. It's intense. This is a reminder, really, to watch for those signs in yourself. Are you getting redder than a cherry tomato? Maybe it's time to shift from just pure effort to smarter, more sustainable ways of working, of living, and crucially, remembering you don't have to manage it all alone. So yeah, quite the journey today. We found some pretty deep stuff on self-care, sustainable ways of being, and the incredible strategic strength of community support, all packed into this charming story about Sunburnt Sun and the Cloud Parade.
Yeah, definitely leaves you with something to think about, doesn't it? A question maybe for you listening. How can you spot those signs when you're maybe glowing redder than a cherry tomato? When do you need to consciously shift gears and shine smart, not hard? And maybe just as important, who are the clouds in your own life? The people you can lean on. And also, who can you be a cloud for when someone else needs that cool down, that supportive parade? We're thinking about how to build your own cloud parade system.